everyone, and welcome back to Butchery 101. Disembodied Christina voiceover voice here to tell you that today we're talking about a few of my favorite bits of meat education media out there. I've already done one episode on my favorite YouTube videos, and I'll make sure to link it here for you. Please do me a solid and hit the like button and also subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and I would love to have you aboard for this butchery and meat education journey. So FYI, internet learning was huge for me in my career. You're just never going to learn everything you want to learn from just one job or school, no matter how awesome that job is. Also, I'm literally learning how to be a YouTuber via the internet now, so that's still true. Haha. Anyway, here are my favorite meaty episodes from Netflix. Starting with Chef's Table, the Dario Cecchini episode. This one is super beautifully shot. If you're not familiar with Chef's Table or Jiro Dreams of Sushi, I highly recommend the entire series, really, and then also that particular documentary. But if you're interested in meat, it's so great because they finally got around to featuring a butcher for the entire episode, and that butcher happens to be Dario Cecchini, like the godfather of modern conscientious ethical butchery. He has always been someone who features the entire animal and prioritizes it, and so learning about him has been really awesome. Something that is really significant about this particular episode is that not only do they show like the inner workings of Dario's butcher shop, they also show the interior of a slaughter facility and like the processing that happens before a carcass makes it to a butcher shop, which I think is really important, and I applaud Netflix for publishing something that shows something. It's not graphic, but it's definitely not what people want to think about all the time, and so I have a lot of admiration for them. He also has like the purest butcher origin story like ever. Dario Cecchini is fourth generation butcher in the middle of Italy, in like rural Italy, and in his young adulthood he wanted to be a veterinarian, and so in fact went to school to become a veterinarian, and then unfortunately a family tragedy occurred where he ended up having to come back from school and come back to run his family's butcher shop, which is the shop that he runs to this day. He ended up apparently falling back in love with butchery and meat and is still doing his thing now. And I think it's just like the sweetest thing ever when you see butchers, especially old-timers, really care about the health and life of the animals that they're working with. It's so sweet. 3 out of 5 wieners for male gaze because, you know, it's Netflix, so that they're still featuring Dario himself, but they did take a good amount of time to feature his wife, who takes care of like a ton of stuff for him. So like, yeah, like I really appreciate that they made sure to include her. Next up, we have salt, fat, acid, and heat. The fat episode. So this is like a cooking / travel show where this chef goes around exploring the origins of certain ingredients, and the first half is about olive oil and is absolutely lovely. But if you want to see just the meat stuff, skip to about 18 minutes in, and she's talking to an Italian butcher about these pigs that are raised on pasture, and they're super duper happy and they get to run around and like forage for whatever they want to eat. And then for like the next 10 minutes they are butchering pigs and creating salumi, like Italian cured meat. And I think it is so awesome. They show the whole pig and they show her with the butcher, and it's really great to have seen like that much of the whole animal, especially in the context of like a travel / cooking show, which are more often than not kind of surface level in terms of like what they show. And the show is hosted by a woman of color, so hey, it's really wonderful to see a woman of color centered as an expert in the culinary world, as opposed to, oh man, so many white guys. So I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 wieners for male gaze because it's awesome to just see this like really fun, bubbly, giggly, humble woman of color go around teaching us and learning about food. It's awesome. Hi everyone, I'm just going to take a quick moment to talk about a couple other Butchery 101 projects that I'm super jazzed for because I think that they can help you have better, more informed meat buying / eating experiences. First, I want to tell y'all about the weekly Butchery 101 YouTube live stream. Every Tuesday around lunchtime Pacific Standard Time, I go live to talk about the news of the week regarding meat, agriculture, and food. A recent topic was the cybersecurity breach, aka ransomware attack at JBS USA. FYI, JBS is actually the world's largest meat producer by sales, so pretty much anything they do affects the entire rest of the meat world. Others were the fraud scandal at Belcampo Meats and the drought that's already affecting farmers and ranchers all across the country. But I promise it's not all bad news. I hope y'all can join for the live stream so you can ask questions or otherwise chat with me, but if you can't, the recordings are available on my YouTube channel pretty soon after I end the recording. Next, I want to tell y'all about my other live stream series, the Patreon exclusive weekly Butchery live stream. You can sign up via the Patreon link in the description below. Every Wednesday afternoon, I'll go live to unbox and break down some meat. It might be a small whole animal like rabbit or duck, and someday it might even be a dry-aged beef subprimal. I'll share with you the entire process from unboxing to prep, including how/where I went about acquiring the meat. That way, if you've ever wondered about certain purchasing methods like CSAs or meat shares or farmers markets, you get an insider view via the live stream. As I cook and consume the meat over the week, I'll post all the progress, recipes, techniques, and results, and most importantly, the mistakes I make on a private Instagram account just for Patreons. Again, I hope y'all could make it to the live streams so we can chat, but if not, the entire library of recordings is available to all Patreons. Again, the link is in the description below, and I do hope y'all pop over and join us. Also, sorry that I'm really bad right now about scheduling. I'll try to be more consistent in the future. But for both of these live streams, I do always put out a social media blast right before the stream, so you can keep an eye out on Instagram on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to make sure you don't miss the live stream. And I think if you subscribe to Butchery 101 on YouTube and then turn on the notifications, it'll tell you about the news live stream. Anyway, thanks so much for being here and listening. I super appreciate you. And now, back to the show. Finally, let's talk about Cooked. Now, Cooked is another series on Netflix. It's a limited series. There are only 4 episodes, and it's based on the book by Michael Pollan. I got a copy of that book as a gift from my culinary school as a graduation gift. Anyway, the turning point really was cooked meat, and I love that deep-seated connection between human beings and meats. This is inextricable. And then finally, in this discussion of meat media that helped me find my way along in the butchery world, I'll recommend one set of books because they're the best books. Butchery by Adam Danforth. This is an amazing, beautiful set of books that feature really excellent photographs and a wide range of practical information, starting from animal welfare and harvesting the animals up into breaking down the whole animal, and then finally even with storage. He also covers basic butchery techniques and tools, and covers a lot of different species in a way that is really practical and applicable. You could hand these to a farmsteader or an aspiring cook butcher, and they would learn a ton from them. This was a huge turning point also because of the quality of photographs and the size of the book. It's literally a large book. Here, I'll show you. It's literally a large book, and therefore super easy to learn from. It's kind of like a textbook, honestly, which is the closest thing to an academic education that I've ever had in butchery, which I love and super appreciate. The other significant part about this being a photographically based book is that it was kind of a remake of this guy, which is really what most of us learned on, a lot of the chefs that I learned from. This is the book that they pointed me towards. In fact, this is actually not my own copy. This is a copy that belongs to a former chef of mine. Sorry, chef, I still want it. But this guy has a ton of information, but it's all this weird like Cook's Illustrated style pencil drawings, and it's good information and it's very practical and inclusive for like anybody who wants to start butchery or processing game, as in game. But sometimes like that particular medium of like pencil drawings is really hard to wrap your brain around, and so then it's really hard to translate into real life learning. Whereas the photographs, like it makes you feel like you're there essentially. So yeah, I super love either of these books, but this is the guy for sure. Disembodied voice here again. That's about it for some of my favorite butchery media on Netflix. Thanks again so much for joining us today. I really hope this helps you on your butchery learning journey, because stuff like this really helped me out a lot in the past. And honestly, I'm still so excited to learn new things from all the awesome meat and butchery related media out there. Let me know your recommendations in the comments. Click like if you found this helpful, and please subscribe. It super duper helps out the channel. Huge thanks to all the Patreons out there who helped make this happen. Don't forget, you can get access to that exclusive meaty live stream and Instagram account by becoming a Patreon. Find out more via the link in the description below. Thanks again, and see y'all on Tuesday!